It's back again!
It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So, a good performance from both teams here today.
Hi, you're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get the show started. On the show today, there is a lot of cricket heading your way. The latest Indian cricketer to announce retirement from all formats of the sport is Cheteshwar Pujara, but fans and experts have lashed out at the Indian Cricket Board for not granting him a farewell match. What's the nostalgia surrounding this concept, and is this flawed in the times that we live in? USA and Donald Trump in recent months are doing all they can to create more roadblocks to big sporting events that they're going to host, whether it's football, cricket, or even the Olympics. But is the cricket venture facing a massive uphill climb? T20's biggest mascot, Gayle, says cricket in the US is dead. Is America's dream with cricket dying a slow death? And what does that mean, keeping LA 2028 games in mind? And the Team India jersey jinx continues. Dream 11 seemingly joins a long list of sponsors who have collapsed post their association with the national jersey. Who were the others in this infamous list? But first, the headlines on Sports 360. Starting with football, Premier League champions Liverpool edged past Newcastle 3-2 to make it 2 wins in as many matches this season. Liverpool were leading 2-0 in the first half. Newcastle struck twice in the second to make it 2-2. And while the match was headed for a draw, Rio Numoha scored the winner in stoppage time. On to tennis, Carlos Alcaraz has cruised into round 2 of the US Open, beating Riley Opelka in straight sets. He faces Mattia Bellucci next. In the women's draw, 45-year-old Venus Williams put up a fight in her first round match but lost to Karolina Muchova 3-6, 6-1, 1-6. Over in Formula One, Sergio Perez is set to return to the sport in 2026. The Mexican will reportedly join F1's new team, Cadillac. Reports also say he has signed a 2-year deal here. Perez last raced for Red Bull in 2024. News from badminton, star Indian shuttler Lakshya Sen crashes out of the World Championships in Paris. The Indian went down against Chinese top seed Shari Chei 17-21, 19-21. At the same venue, Sen lost his Paris Olympic semi-final last year. And summing it up with weightlifting, star Indian weightlifter Mirabai Chanu won the gold medal in the Commonwealth Championship at Ahmedabad. The Tokyo Olympics silver medalist lifted 84 kilograms in snatch and 109 in clean and jerk to take the top spot in a field of 7. Now, when you're reading a book, let's say a thriller, as you consume more and more pages, as the story wears on, what are you looking forward to the most? The ending, of course. How is the author going to wrap this one up? Will it be a fitting finale? Worth your time, worth all that you invested into this one story. Indian cricket and its fans have a pretty similar relationship. Once they are hooked into the story of a cricketer, it has to have a great farewell. The cricketer to retire from all formats most recently was India's Cheteshwar Pujara, and fans and experts went up in arms about one of the best test batters India's ever produced not getting the goodbye he deserves. Making me ask, is this now a concept that needs to be properly canned? Should we politely say farewell to the whole idea of a grand farewell? The 2 biggest test cricketers of this generation, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, called it quits just some months ago. No drama, no commotion, no last test, nothing. The biggest stars stepped away quietly from the scene, contrary to how they burst onto it years ago. In fact, the last test match for Rohit Sharma was when he decided to step down and not play in the 11. So why this fuss over farewells? Now, I strongly feel it's an emotion that has been romanticized in India. The biggest example or episode of this was Sachin Tendulkar's farewell, coupled with that elusive wait for the 100th 100 and all of that coming together. The goodbye happened in Mumbai at the iconic Wankhede Stadium, where Sachin grew up. It was dramatic, it was nostalgic, emotional. Broadcasters, organizers, everyone who were part of that circus-like event planned it all to be one goosebump-filled ride that he would never forget. I remember that day as if it was just some days ago. I was at the stadium. There were pictures that were later uploaded, giving everyone a 360-degree view that you could zoom in on, where you could spot exactly where you were in that ground when Sachin struck his last ball or when the day wrapped up. Of course, Sachin getting emotional when he was giving that speech only added to the fanfare and the celebrations. There's this notion in India, and this particular event only reinforced it, that every superstar or great cricketer deserves a farewell game. So his or her fans can prepare themselves of seeing one of their favourites for one last time. This romanticized concept somehow doesn't fit into this current landscape anymore for various reasons. Number one, the team dynamics has changed drastically and you do not feature in the plans anymore. Cricketers probably feel, and they justify it to an extent, that they still have some more years of the sport in them. They still have some time to contribute to the country, but somehow fail to see where the game has progressed or where the squad has gone to. Can they really come back into the scheme of things? They understandably fail to stay objective in their quest, in their passionate pursuit of the sport. Number two, it is very rare for cricketers to call time in the most apt manner and say bye-bye on the grandest stage, knowing they are done, and that coincides with an iconic tournament or a series. Most cricketers crave this, and very few have been fortunate to get it. Like Saurav Ganguly, he almost wrestled himself one, with MS Dhoni graciously calling him on to skipper his side briefly for one last time and getting the crowd the entertainment they all came for. We all remember the press conference as one. All of this stands the test of time. But so many really couldn't get that. Like Rahul Dravid, Yuvraj Singh, Virender Sehwag, Gautam Gambhir, they were all match winners, and there are many more. Number three, and probably the more critical one, with the advent of T20 cricket, or should I say too much cricket, and avenues opening up everywhere, is there truly a farewell? You can't really tear up and say bye-bye to a cricketer only to see him or her in a T20 or T10 league next, or in the commentary box spewing wisdom, or as a coach mentoring one of the zillion T20 sides that has come up all over the world, or in their own YouTube channel. That's the latest buzz for an alternate career path for any international cricketer. The options here are endless. So really, the expansion of the sport has made it difficult for you to quite truly miss a cricketer all too dearly. So let's snap out of these romantic notions. Maybe the best way cricketers truly need to be remembered is by what they left you feeling when you watched them shine. What is their legacy? What have they left you with? And that's how it should be. Usually a country does all it can to encourage sports to grow because that ensures investments coming in, other countries visiting, growth of infrastructure. It's a cycle that usually goes this way. USA seems to be doing all it can to throw roadblocks, whether it's NFL, football, cricket, or even the Olympics. For cricket, the story is even worse. The ICC has tried for decades to crack the US market. Every single time, there's failure. All raising the question, is the American dream failing to take wings when it comes to cricket? The big move came just last year when the ICC took the T20 World Cup to American soil, co-hosted by the West Indies. Of course, it was meant to be cricket's grand American debut. It turned out to be anything but. Yes, there was crowd turnout, but only because of Indians in the US who came out to cheer the Indian cricket team. Beyond that, the reality was ugly. Drop in pitches condemned by experts, weather exposing poor ground infrastructure, players complaining about shabby facilities, gymnasiums so bad teams had to move around outside their hotels to access one. And in the end, a $20 million revenue loss. For the ICC, that was strike one. The only way now was through the Major League Cricket Tournament, launched in 2023 with huge promises. But 3 years on, and it's still a dead league.
I called my friend Chris Gayle and asked what's the atmosphere like. He replied, "My brother, it's dead. There was no one in the stadium, absolutely no one."
If Gayle, the man who made T20 league cricket exciting worldwide, calls it dead, then it sounds like a death knell to me. And here's the irony: cricket is returning to the Olympics after 128 years at the LA event in 2028. But even that hasn't generated buzz in America. But why? It's because of the MLC itself. The tournament, in its quest to get the crowds in, has failed to attract any superpower.
If I'm sitting anywhere in the world, I'm not going to spend my money to watch names I've never heard of. What I want is to watch and pay to see stars like Virat, Kohli, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Michael Clarke or Brett Lee.
No star powers there, and he's right. Major League Soccer, MLS, understood the formula. They brought in few global names like Messi, Suarez, Jordi Alba. MLC still clueless. But what can you expect from a country run by an association that is buried in distress themselves? The US Cricket Board is a mess. Take a look at their history. In 2007, they were suspended for irregular elections. 8 years later, it was governance and financial issues. 2 years after that, it was debt. And in 2019, ICC finally made them associate members. USA Cricket has been given a warning by the ICC for governance failures. Just last month, USA Cricket was in danger of being de-recognized due to non-compliance of the ICC's governance laws. But given they are the host nation for the Olympics, ICC has found themselves in a bit of a spot here. The governing body had to give a 3-month notice to US cricket to resolve issues. So here's the hard truth. The ICC has done all it can and multiple times over to make cricket work in America. And rightly so. The US market is desirable and a lucrative one to tap into. If the sport becomes popular there, the reach will be far more. Sure, it's a difficult one to crack given fans' obsession for the NFL, NBA and MLB, but all it needs is the kind of governance that can make it work. And this is where US cricket establishments have failed again and again. And now, with the Olympics just 3 years away, the question writes itself. Is the ICC backing the wrong horse here? Because if the US can't get its act together soon, cricket's American dream might end before it even tries to take flight. India's cricket team isn't just a sporting powerhouse, it's the biggest brand in the country. A partnership with BCCI is often called the Midas touch, because everything Indian cricket touches turns to gold. Well, almost everything. Dream 11 has just joined the infamous list of brands that crashed after becoming India's jersey sponsor. Is there a curse lurking here? Here's our next report.
Indian cricket is a goldmine. The richest cricket board, the most profitable brand, and the ultimate jackpot, getting your logo on Team India's jersey. Instant limelight, 24/7 promotion, and global reach. Like casting Robert Downey Jr., Tom Cruise, and Scarlett Johansson in the same movie. But here's the plot twist. It rarely ends well. Dream 11 signed a $40 million deal in 2023 as India's jersey sponsor. But last week, their India operations took a hit after the government banned money-based online gaming. They ended the deal with BCCI and the so-called jersey curse struck again. In fact, the curse has become a running joke. Want to test your brand's survival skills? Forget the stock market. Just try sponsoring Team India. Dream 11 isn't alone. This story stretches back almost 2 decades. Every single jersey sponsor has faced chaos. Take Byju's. Once hailed as India's EdTech savior, they took over the jersey in 2019. Fast forward to 2023, and you have an $18 million default, legal battles with BCCI, and a business in free fall. Before Byju's, there was Micromax, the homegrown mobile giant. But with Chinese competitors taking over, Micromax's innings ended, both in cricket and in the handset market. In 2017 came a new wave. Oppo, the phone maker, went big, $162 million, the costliest deal ever. But poor returns and dwindling market share forced them to retreat from India's cricket jersey for just 2 years. And soon, from the Indian market itself. Go back even further, Sahara in 2013, Star in 2017. Every big name eventually struggled under the so-called jersey jinx. So what's the takeaway? Yes, a deal with Team India is glamorous. Yes, it guarantees eyeballs. But stardom doesn't guarantee survival. Every brand learned it the hard way. The jersey curse may sound like meme lingo, but history says otherwise. From Micromax to Byju's to Dream 11, the list of fallen brands have only grown. Yet, here's the irony, despite the horror stories, companies will still line up. Because one truth remains unchanged, in India, nothing shines brighter than the blue jersey. And that's why, curse or not, every brand still dreams of being on it.
Time for last serve. We take you to San Francisco's Bay Bridge. An American sky surfer glided over the famous infrastructure, becoming the first person ever to do so. Take a look. That wraps it up here on Firstpost. I'll, of course, see you again tomorrow. Till then, do take care. Bye-bye.